I started my journey into wildlife in 1985 when I passed out from a school in Delhi. I was very interested in wildlife in terms of not just birds but elephants, leopards, lions and tigers. So I would like to take photographs of all these categories, which would also include butterfly at times. So that takes me now approximately 35 years good into wildlife. Slowly and steadily as the years went by, I felt that my interest was moving more and more towards the avian life, that is basically birds. And I started visiting more different sanctuaries where instead of tigers and leopards, we would find more birds. And I'm very happy to tell you that out of about 13 or 1400 odd species found in India, I have seen about Indian subcontinent, rather I have seen about 1137 species. Now the journey from here will become tougher because now I see that the numbers that are left are very tough to get. And I also have a travel company where we take people all around India, from Kashmir to south in Kanyakumari, from western India in Rajasthan till about Arunachal in the east, basically for primarily for bird photography. I am out almost about 300 to 325 days a year in this business, and balance time I spend on writing books on birds. I have already done 2 books with Bikram Garewal. One is Birds of the Indian Subcontinent. It's a 800-page book with about 4,400 images. We have practically covered almost every single bird that has come to India, visited India as a migratory bird or a resident bird in the last 100 plus years. And I'm proud of the fact that it's been a bestseller and we have been able to sell more than 1,000 copies. Post that, we did another book called Birds of Nepal, which has also done good reviews in the market. Now currently, apart from my own birding schedules, I also am writing 2 books on birds. Primarily one is on owls and raptors of the Indian subcontinent, which is going to be a pictorial guide which would have pictures of approximately all the owls and raptors in the Indian subcontinent, which includes Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Sri Lanka. Once that is over, I am also planning another book called How to Differentiate Between Similar Looking Birds, because sometimes when you're in the field, there is a bird which could be an X bird or a Y bird. So you're confused, could it be a booted warbler or a Sykes warbler? So one must have good features of plumage features which differentiate between one bird to another. So that is my next adventure that I'm taking. I currently stay in Noida, and like I mentioned, I travel a lot all over the country. Between South Andaman and Great Nicobar, we have 6 owls which are endemic only to these 2 islands. In South Andaman, you have 5 owls which are endemic only to this region, starting with Andaman barn owl, Andaman scops owl, Andaman hawk owl, Hume's bubuk and Walden scops owl. There are more birds which are endemic to South Andaman as well. Moving to Great Nicobar, the few birds which are exclusively endemic to Great Nicobar and neighboring islands are Nicobar flycatcher, Nicobar scops owl, and Nicobar megapode. These are not found anywhere else in the world except these few islands surrounding Great Nicobar. A few more endemic birds of Andaman and Great Nicobar which I would like to mention, which we normally see in most of our trips, are Andaman drongo, Andaman tripai, Andaman shama, Andaman cuckoo shrike, Andaman serpent eagle, Great Nicobar serpent eagle, and Central Nicobar serpent eagle. Golden eagle. Now I would like to move to Rajasthan. The key areas where we do birding and bird photography are Sambar Lake, Tal Chappar Wildlife Sanctuary, Bikaner Jorbi Dump Area where all the vultures come, and Desert National Park. Some of the very rare birds that one gets to see in this region are the critically endangered Great Indian Bustard, some vultures like Himalayan vulture, Indian vulture, white-rumped vulture, Egyptian vulture, and cinereous vulture. We also get to see the Shaker falcon, merlin, red-naped shaheen, to mention a few. Amongst the smaller birds, the targets normally are spotted sandgrouse, black-bellied sandgrouse, trumpeter's finch, black-crowned sparrowlark, and desert lark. Some of the very key birds that we try to see over here are the Great Indian Bustard, Great Knots, Sanderlings, Little Stints. Amongst the raptors, merlin, greater spotted eagle, Indian spotted eagle, tawny eagle, steppe eagle, and a few vultures. In Uttarakhand, we see some very rare birds over here. To start with would be the Koklas pheasant and the Cheer pheasant. Some other birds which are of great importance to people are Khalij pheasant and some of the colorful Himalayan birds. We also bird in the northeastern states like Manipur, Nagaland, Arunachal, and Assam. Not to forget Meghalaya and Tripura and Sikkim. Some important regions or areas where we bird in this place, this particular region, are Mishmi Hills, Eagle Nest, Dibru Saikova, Maguri Beel. A few places worth mentioning in South India where we encounter endemics which are only seen in South India, especially the Western Ghats. These areas are Munnar, Thettikad, where we go, Kotagiri, where continuously there is a big influx of birds. And some important birds, you get to see black baza, some tripais, some bulbuls, to mention. One of the most favorite destinations that I've had in my travel of the last 35 years has been Kashmir. It's always a pleasure coming back here and again because of two reasons. I love the climate over here. It is cold and nice compared to the 47 degrees that we suffer most of the year in Delhi and surrounding areas, NCR. And I'm also very happy to meet people over here. They are very simple, very honest, and very caring. Hospitality is of a completely different level altogether in Kashmir. 27th of January 2021 was a very important day or landmark in the life of birders and bird photographers and wildlifers from Kashmir, as this was the first time that young people from Kashmir Valley got together and made a beautiful calendar of birds, I would rather say of very rare birds that have visited India or Kashmir for the first time. And it was nice to see that there were a lot of officials also from various departments, basically bureaucrats, who got together and gave encouragement to the young boys and girls who collected together to make this a success. I was one of the guests of honors. They were very kind to invite me for the calendar launch. I, along with my fellow birders and photographers from Chennai, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Lucknow, were fortunate to be a part of this occasion. At the same time, I would like to share that there is one gentleman over here by the name of Irfan Jelani. He has taken a very big step in trying to educate young boys from the villages, various villages like Kangan, Mamar, Huksar and other areas to become good birders and guides. This will also bring some tourism to this area. At the same time, it will be a livelihood for these young boys and girls to also know these beautiful birds and meet various people from the country, from different walks of life. And you never know when, where, how somebody starts a business on his own. I have been visiting Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir for the last 15 odd years. Ladakh is an area where a lot of birds that you see are only seen in Ladakh, or maybe one or two other Himalayan regions of India. The birds that we focus on in Ladakh are Eurasian eagle owl, little owl, Tibetan lark, Tibetan sandgrouse, Tibetan partridge. These are a few that come straight away to my mind. Amongst the raptors, the two most important raptors, which is everybody's craze, are upland buzzard and golden eagle. This year we started our trip in January from Jammu, where we come every year to make photo images of a bird called rook, which comes in every winter from Pakistan. To our surprise, definitely we got the rook, a lot of rooks, but the most important and the feature was that we managed to see about 50-60 migrating short-eared owls with one long-eared owl in it. This was a big surprise because we have never seen such a large flock of short-eared owls anywhere in India except Jammu. Normally we get to see only small flocks of 2, 3 or 4 or 5 maybe in different parts of northern India. Yellowhammer, Bramling, Pine bunting. These are some very, very rare wintering birds which only happen in this region during winters, and then they migrate back to their breeding grounds in Europe and Eurasia. Apart from this, some very critical and some very rare birds which are actually residents also, we managed to make some images, were orange bullfinch, white-cheeked nuthatch and Kashmir nuthatch, Blyth's rosefinch, though Blyth's rosefinch is a migratory bird. Again, this was the second year consecutively that Blyth's rosefinch has been seen in Kashmir. At nights, we usually go to see the tawny owl, which is a nocturnal owl found exclusively in Kashmir, especially in the Ganderbal district, Kangan areas and Dachigam National Park. We have the beautiful Sindh River flowing right behind me, and we were very surprised to see some beautiful ibis bills over here, some brown dippers, white-capped red stars, little folktails, to name a few birds that are right near the resort. The last group I had was of 4 lady birders. A lot of ladies are taking to photography in India, and also children who are between the age group of 12 to 18. Our last group comprised of 4 ladies and 1 boy who's giving, as I mentioned, who's giving his class 12th exams. We took them to nearby birding spots like Ganderbal, Kangan, Dachigam National Park, Botanical Garden in Kashmir, Srinagar. We had an unfortunate incident, like I would like to mention that whilst birding we have to keep certain things in mind. We have to be very careful in how we walk. Sometimes you're on slippery ground, sometimes on snow, there are boulders also, so one has to be very careful. Unfortunately, one of the ladies fell down as she was carrying a very heavy camera, and she broke one of her index fingers. The only good part was that there are nice hospitals in Srinagar, and we immediately took her to the hospital and had her finger plastered. We came back, and to our surprise we thought that that particular lady, birder, photographer, would not come out with us for birding for the next few days, and to everybody's surprise she was ready to take on another camera and start birding immediately. So this shows what kind of passion people have towards birding and bird photography, which I think today is amongst probably the number one or number two hobby or fastest growing hobby in the world. As you can see, this is one of the resorts where we put up our clients. It has got a good heating system. The bathrooms are all well equipped with geysers. On top of it, the hospitality and the fooding is of absolute top class. Personally feel the bird tourism potential that you're mentioning is very strong for the state of Jammu Kashmir, the Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, because the birds that you see over here, the masses of India and also a lot of people from other parts of the world can't see anywhere else. Like I mentioned to you, the Eurasian eagle owl, little owl, orange bullfinch, Kashmir nuthatch are birds very specific to this region. So the more one comes here, the more birds they can cover. We carry along with us birders from different parts of India, different professions. Like I mentioned some time ago, we have a lot of ladies who have started taking a lot of interest in birding and bird photography. We bird from 6:37 to about 10 in the morning, then come back to the resort, have our breakfast, rest or sleep for a little while. Then we have our lunch at about between 1 and 2, and by 2 we are off for birding again. We bird from 2 o'clock to about 5:30 till when you have a good sun. Post that, the last session of the day starts at 6 o'clock, and we bird from 6 to 8 o'clock. Basically night birding, which is only owls. You get owls over here like your tawny owl and long-eared owl. And 8:30 we are back. By 9 we have had our dinner and we are finished for the world. As we are so very tired, we hit the bed and we're gone.
After that, I think once you guys are back, I'll get the fireplace ready because I see it's going to be really cold. Temperatures would be minus, and usually we're not staying in an area where the temperature is in minus. So we'll make sure that they're comfortable once they're back from bird watching.
When you're in the field, you're moving, you're taking photographs, so your body is warm. But when you come back to the resort, you feel very cold. And like I said, this is the normal local heating system in Srinagar. It is very effective, and it makes the whole room very warm. This is called Kangdi. This is a small equipment in which they put coal fire, and the people of Srinagar keep it near them to warm up their hands and their body.
Say this is mobile heater.
This is you can say you can call it a mobile heater.
This place is very rightly called the heaven of the country, and it is. The people here are at another level. They really take care of you very well. When we come back from a birding session, we are not able to adjust with the temperatures usually we have here. And before we reach the resort, people here they keep the place so warm that I think after a while I can roam around in t-shirt in this area because they keep it really warm. And I love Kashmir. I love the people over here. I love their hospitality. Everything about this place is amazing.
You have a migratory bird which is here, tundra swan, which has come first time to Dutch, this Huxar or Kashmir. Then you have Pallas's rosefinch, which was found in Budgam, which was the first time somebody actually saw Pallas's rosefinch in India. You see, yellowhammer again is a record for, are you tipping me? Yellowhammer is also again a new record for the valley. Similarly, so many such more records will happen when the village boys are trained and we give them a camera in their hand. We give them a binocular in their hands to photograph, because if somebody just says, I saw a tundra swan, people will not believe. But if that young boy or a girl or an elderly gentleman has a camera with him and has documented that bird, then people from all walks of life will believe. There's no reason to not believe that a new bird has been sighted for India or the Indian subcontinent for the first time. You see, we are all nature lovers, and I come from a region which is usually hot throughout the year, except for 2 months of winter. Most of the time, at least in April, May, and June, it gets to about 47 degrees in NCR, that is National Capital Region, Delhi, or you may call Noida or Ghaziabad or Gurgaon. So we are used to birding in 45, 46 degrees. Then in May, when we go to eastern India, it is pouring cats and dogs. And now every winter we are here in Kashmir, where temperatures go as low as, where we bird in as low as minus 16 degrees. So you have to, being nature lover, you have to be prepared with the right clothing. Like right now I'm wearing 2 gloves, I'm wearing 5 layers of clothes, which include a very good warmer, 2 polyfilled jackets with down, and 2 sweaters. You have to be mentally prepared, and it is tough. I can't understand that how these people manage their livelihood in such harsh weather conditions. I mean, where me and my team are struggling by just standing and looking at birds, trying to spot birds. We are in a really tough situation. How do these people actually earn a living in minus 16 degrees? A good food for thought. This is the people over here are beautiful. Yeah, the hospitality, you cannot even imagine what hospitality these Kashmiris have. All wrong things are being portrayed about them in the media and social life. People didn't want to come with me over here on 26th of January. कि उधर terrorist attack हो जाएगा, there'll be this problem, that problem. I said, I'm coming here for 15 years. There is no problem in this valley. It is we people who have wrong ideas. This valley is beautiful. There is no problem. It is being created by the media, political circles, and I must tell you, you will enjoy this place. If you were here with me right now, you would have told me, Sarvan, let me tell you. I'll tell you, if you were here right now where I'm standing, I will just send you photographs. You would have told me, Sarvan, you have saved me 3-4 lakh rupees of going to Switzerland. This is better than Switzerland. Much better than Switzerland. And in what? 20,000 rupees, you have gone to Switzerland and come back. I run a bird photography and birding company where we take people from all walks of life and ages all over India for birding and bird photography. Today I have got from Ahmedabad a young boy called Madhav Murthy. He's a class 9th grade student and an avid birder and a very good photographer. I have got him here so that he can share his experiences with the young boys and girls of the villages surrounding Srinagar so that they take some inspiration from him. And I hope one day they become good birders, and maybe one or two of them could take up bird photography as a profession or a hobby. It would give us immense happiness if we contribute in some way or the other to these villages.
Day starts here at around 6:30 a.m. and it's quite cold. So today, in fact, it was around -12 in the morning, and we left at around 7:30 to photograph the pine buntings and the yellowhammer here in Phuket Lake. And it's quite cold, but I think it's worth going out in the cold and photographing these rare birds, which are quite rare now in India.
This is Rian Sofi, one of the local village boys of Hoxar wetland. We are training Mr. Rian for bird watching, so that there is some community living, some money he makes, and becomes a good avid bird watcher himself, and shows people birds from all over India. For that matter, we have given one binocular to Mr. Rian, so that he can see birds more closely, because birds are quite far away in the wetland area.
Before, when I saw the first time Tundra Swan here, then I shared the pictures on Facebook, and it was a first record from Kashmir. So when the Sarvandeep sir saw, so I was waiting for him when he will come, and I will show him also too. So I want to many people will come also here, and they can see it. It was a amazing moment in my life when I saw the Tundra Swan, and many peoples and many tourists are visiting me, and they are calling me to show us the Tundra Swan. So I'm very happy. I think they have changed my life. Me and some of my clients from Ahmedabad are here for bird photography. We have come to see the great Tundra Swan, which have visited the Kashmir Valley for the first time. On my extreme left is Mrs. Amy Murthy. Her son, her loving son, young budding birder, Mr. Madhav Murthy. Here's Mr. Mubarak. He's my person who drives us around India, all over India for birding and bird photography. Miss Falguna Shah, Rian Sofi. He's the local boy from Hoxar village, who is showing us around the beautiful Tundra swans and the yellowhammer. He's a local village boy in conservation, as well as we are training him to become a good guide. I have Mr. Jafar on my extreme right. He's from a village, Kangan, where he looks after tawny owls. We want to break the myth that the owls are evil birds. So he's one of them who helps youngsters. He educates them and tells them that they are beautiful birds and they mean no evil to human beings.
I'm Amna Murthy. I'm Madhav's mom, and I introduced him to birding about 1.5 years back. I was always interested in birding, but I could not get a chance because I was working and my kids were small. But when I introduced him, after that there was no looking back. He's totally into birding. He reads a lot and he has gained a lot of knowledge during the lockdown. And we've been fortunate enough to do a couple of trips within India. And he's photographed about 400 species, more than 400 species. And it was his idea to come to Kashmir. I was a bit scared because of Corona and all. But he was insisting that we should all come here to see tundra swans and all the other beautiful birds. So that's how we did this trip. And I'm very happy and very thankful to Sarvandeep Singh sir for this beautiful trip.
This is my first visit to Kashmir. I have come over here to see some of the beautiful birds, and I think most of them are lifers for me, especially here, Hoxar Lake. We came to see tundra swan. Yellowhammer tundra swan, pied bunting. But for the tundra swan, we went deep inside the snow, and it was such an amazing experience for me.
Today we have Sarvandeep ji, who is here, who usually take bird photographers and birders all over the India on birding tours, and today they have visited here. Many of the youths of Kashmir can opt this birding as profession, as it has a very vast scope and that will help the nature to flourish.
I plan to increase my number of trips per year, especially in Kashmir, to train local village boys in guiding. setting up workshops here to help them understand how to deal with clients and how to go about birding, what are the birding ethics, what is the conservation about birds and wildlife, how they should engage themselves with wildlife. I plan to get a lot of my friends here who will be conducting workshops in various aspects, not just about birding. It would involve nature, it would involve conservation, environmental issues.
This is my friend Jayanta Ghosh from Calcutta, Yoganand Sinha, Urf Raghu Sinha from Allahabad, and from Gurgaon, Mr. Rajiv Das Gupta. My partner in crime, Priyam Singh.
Like all hobbies and all matters of skill, like photography is a skill, you need a guru. And for me, Sarvandeep Singh has been my guru. I met him about 8 years ago, and we have birded about 25 to 26 trips or maybe more. We've been all around the world, not world, India, which is my world. Sarvan is not just a birder, he's also a very good photographer. And being a photographer, he has a way of helping you to take photos, and that is a special skill for a birder. There are many birders who can point out birds to you, but they will not be able to help you to take good photos. And Sarvan takes a lot of pain to help you to take good photos. As a psychologist, I can tell you that he is non-directive. He will never say, "Aisa karo." He'll just give you a little hint and let you explore the angles, the light, the message that you are trying to get. For instance, I learned the importance of background only by interacting with him.
There are so many new species for birders, and more people should visit this place. Though it is a very challenging, but once you see the birds, it's such a beautiful kind of an experience.
I love to see these frozen fields in Kashmir every winter. That is why this pulls me towards this beautiful region every winter.